What is good, party people? How are we feeling after the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal for the Nintendo Switch 2 Nintendo Direct? I've got a lot of feelings, mostly good, some bad when it comes to the idea of Nintendo's business practices. But in other news, Nintendo and Nvidia finally confirmed the magic that is underneath all of the Switch 2's machinations. Because after the Direct, I was like, okay, I was expecting, 60 frames per second and the possibility of 4K and whatnot, because there was a lot of rumors and speculation on Nvidia's custom chip of what the Switch 2 is going to utilize. But then when I saw up to 120 frames per second, up to 4K on the dock, and then 1080p on the screen, and HDR support, I'm like, huh? How? And then the fact that Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, in that performance mode, in quality mode, is going to run the game in 4K 60 frames per second. And I'm like, okay, I understand this is a Switch game that is made for Switch 2 at this point, but damn, right? And the fact that we're getting Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in 60 frames per second in, I thought it was like 2K natively and then made 4K upscale. The point is, what is under the tank? Right, it's crazy, but finally they came out with a blog on the official but the Nvidia blog, in which they describe, and here's the information, I'm gonna leave a link in the description box below for you to check it out at your discretion. Nintendo Switch 2, which was unveiled April 2nd, takes performance to the next level by using a custom Nvidia processor featuring an Nvidia GPU with dedicated RT ray tracing, whatever, RT cores and tensor cores for stunning visual and DLSS-driven enhancements. This is going to be crazy. The new console enables up to 4K gaming on TV with up to 120 frames per second at 1080p in handheld mode as well. It also supports HDR and upscaling through AI use with DLSS, which is deep learning super sampling. Nvidia, that's one of Nvidia's bags when it comes to a certain amount of their graphics cards and their processors, right? Apparently, this console is going to be 10 times more powerful in terms of graphics than the regular Switch. And then people are like, oh, but the Switch was weak. Hey, the Switch was able to work magic when people knew how to use it. And then we're going to get performance 10 times beyond that? Wild to me. Like, Nintendo's like, okay, Nintendo, let's see what you look like off the chain, right? The tensor cores boost DLSS-powered graphics while keeping power consumption efficient. And remember, DLSS is the AI-driven graphics super sampling, deep learning super sampling. The RT cores enhance in-game realism and dynamic lighting and natural reflections. And we saw this a little bit in the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 edition of the games when it came to the treehouse and the Direct itself, in which we saw like really good use of angel rays and whatnot, good contrasting colors, and like everything just popped like never before in the loading time, right? The variable refresh rate VRR via Nvidia G-Sync in handheld mode ensures ultra smooth tear-free gameplay when playing on handheld, and I'm pretty sure on screen it's still gonna look great. Apparently there's also other aspects when it comes to the tensor cores that enable the AI-powered face tracking and the background removal when using voice chat. That's if you have a camera. I'm not gonna use a camera from the Nintendo Switch 2 because that camera didn't look that good. It doesn't. It doesn't look good. And because it's gonna have 2 USB-C ports. Allow me to use my camera, this camera, with the Switch 2. But we'll have to wait and see. But this looks insane, right? The Nintendo Switch 2 brings major upgrades over the Switch to the point where I'm like, current gaming with a bit of tweaking and a bit of know-how when it comes to people taking advantage of this new custom Nvidia set can have really good looking games that are on PS5 and Xbox Series or Xbox Series X or a PC or whatnot. The Switch 2 is really aiming to please. So the point I'm like, hey, listen, Kingdom Hearts 4. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. That is only for PS5. Remake was a PS4 game, but Remake Integrate is a PS5 game, and that's coming to Switch. So I'm like, Listen, let's get it. I am ready to see what kind of magic developers can do with this in their hands when it comes to either, cross-platform games or multi-platform games, not cross, multi-platform games and original games that they make specifically for this system. So I want to know what you guys think when it comes to all of these specs finally confirmed in terms of the graphics card, right? Because I mean, like, I would still have to see what Nintendo says about, the RAM and everything else, and like, oh, the dedicated fan in the back of the dock and whatnot. So I want to know what you guys think about this. Leave your comments in the comment section below and be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK. We are in it to win it. We are lost in the sauce for the Nintendo Switch 2. Get ready. There's gonna be more. Check you guys later.